In this video, we're going to talk about why MrBeast thinks it's impossible for X to compete with YouTube. To begin, let's go back to 2023 when Jimmy was on Lex Fridman. Keep in mind, this was only a few months after Elon acquired Twitter and revenue sharing was not introduced yet.
What do you think about video on the platform? I mean, do you think that's an interesting, or is it like messing with the medium, the nature of the platform?
I think Twitter will always be closer to TikTok than it is to YouTube. Like at least in its current form. Like I don't see 20-minute, 1 hour long videos or whatever, even 15-minute videos being watched over there. I see it more as like the short and snappy stuff closer to TikTok.
What Jimmy just said matches what most people think about X. They go to the platform to see short, text-based posts that occasionally include video, but if they want to watch longer videos, they are going to YouTube. For people to watch long-form videos on X, they have to teach people to use the platform differently, which likely requires a new interface. And we know they're working on a dedicated video tab, which could be the solution, so long as it allows people to search and be recommended videos similar to the YouTube homepage. Okay, so let's say X does introduce this. Would people start flocking to X video? Turns out there's another hurdle.
You responded to Elon saying Twitter's unlikely to be able to pay creators more money than YouTube. What do you think that is?
Well, yeah, because I think the tweet I responded to was one where he was saying that they, users will jump over if Twitter could potentially pay more than other platforms. And I was just saying, obviously, because Google has Google AdWords, and I mean, that's Google's whole thing. It's putting ads on stuff. They've been doing it better than anyone else in the world for a very long time. It's very unlikely in the next few years that Twitter is going to just magically, or any platform, give a creator the ability to make higher CPMs than on YouTube.
MrBeast brings up a good point here, which is that putting ads on stuff is Google's bread and butter. So it would be very difficult for any platform to match YouTube's RPMs. We're going to look deeper into those numbers in just a minute, but if we fast forward to 2024, when Jimmy actually did post some videos on X, he was right. X's RPM was lower than YouTube. But first, let's roll the final clip.
Elon tweeted, "We want to limit the amount of regrettable minutes people spend on Twitter." And the first thing I thought is like, that's something YouTube already has unlocked. Yeah. Like their whole survey system and feedback loop.
How tough is it to take on YouTube, you think? Like
for Twitter?
Yeah, for Twitter, for anybody else.
I mean, it's going to be basically impossible. I mean, YouTube's not going anywhere. And I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to do what YouTube does better than them, at least not in the next 10 years.
This clip is interesting for a few reasons. First is the discussion about unregretted user minutes, which I agree YouTube has figured out better than X. And a lot of that has to do with YouTube's recommendation algorithm, which is very good at serving you videos it knows you will enjoy. In other words, the user experience on YouTube is generally much better than on X. I also want to call out what MrBeast said at the end there, which is that it'll be pretty much impossible for any platform to compete with YouTube because no platform can do what YouTube does better than YouTube can. I agree with this, and even if X did manage to match all the functionality of YouTube, people would not automatically flock to X because the creators they watch are already on YouTube. X would have to convince some of them to start posting on X, otherwise people would just keep watching them on YouTube. Speaking of convincing creators to post on X, Elon actually did manage to convince MrBeast to post some videos on X in 2024. It took 6 months of convincing because MrBeast knew the regular monetization program on X would not pay enough to make it worth it. But he did finally agree to try it when they invited him to be part of the Amplify program, which allows pre-roll ads to show on your videos. His first video made over $250,000, but he explained that this was likely skewed because advertisers specifically bought ads on his video. He continued posting videos on X, and then in April, he shared that he had made around $1 million in ad revenue from his first 5 videos. Now, that is way more than any creator is making on X right now, but if you look at the RPMs, he's likely making way more on YouTube. The RPM for his first 5 videos on X was $1.33, whereas on YouTube, he's likely making at least double that. He's posted a few more videos since then, but none since June 6th, 2024, which is more than 5 months ago. And it was basically free money for him to be posting on X. So if he was making enough for it to be worth it, he would still be posting his videos there. Now, I will say MrBeast is a bit of an anomaly because he spends millions of dollars on his videos and has an entire company around him. Long term, X needs big creators like him in order for their platform to be relevant, but it took YouTube years before they got to that point. I think the fact he made as much as he did is actually pretty encouraging for smaller creators though. I would still choose to start a YouTube channel over an X account if you're posting video content, but if the Amplify program or some other type of video monetization was introduced for the whole platform, I actually think it's pretty realistic that people could earn a living posting videos on X, which is not something you can say about the current monetization program. So I think MrBeast is correct in his assessment for now. You have to remember this is an Elon Musk company, so if anyone can take on a task as big as this, it's him. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on what it would take for X to compete with YouTube, watch this video here.